You should just write a program that does it.
You and I both know that I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that either. Can't imagine it's hard. I
I
bet
can
you someone's already done it.
probably. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I know that there are programs that do it because someone was like, "Hey, you can just use this program instead." And then I looked at it and I was like, "This looks way too hard." And then I didn't want to ask them how to do it, so I just stopped. Like, I just didn't. You know,
Yeah.
I just do this. Like because the same thing is like, I personally do my own like roles and stuff in my Discord, and people are like, there's bots that can do that for you, and it's like, yeah, I know, but this is just easier for me. Like I'm an old man, I don't know how to use this stuff.
Yeah, I understand fully. It's
Uh,
like at work, there are always people that tried to explain me how to do more sophisticated stuff in Excel, like looking at big data sets, and it's like, okay, but the amount of time I spent learning it, I could do what I'm about to do 50,000 times. So like, it's like, I'll just do it.
so spawning in the top right, the red Zerg player playing for Risen from the Ashes. It is 11.
And spawning in the bottom left, the blue Protoss, representing GDAT, as in GDAT name is original, it's Matrix.
The French team. That's all I know about them. Is that they're a French team. Uh,
Probably
looks.
means something different en français.
Oh ho ho. Puis aller la toilette or whatever.
Puis j'allais à un bois de l'eau.
We're both men of
Culture.
international men. We're international men. There you go. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Well, you're Mr. Worldwide.
Exactly. That's true. Me and Pitbull.
I've
So,
been to Quebec once.
oh, I was just about to point out how I hate the cleaning bots, but both mains have two cleaning bots, and I feel like that's not always the case because I swear when I was looking at this before, there was no cleaning bot in one of the mains. Oh, but maybe they get hidden from the observers too when they're in the fog of war. It's kind of interesting. Hmm.
No.
You learn new
No
things
idea.
every day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hatch first from 11.
Yeah, and it was really early hatch too. I don't know if you noticed, but Matrix sent the probe to block the hatch, and 11 still got it down. So, I mean, again,
Something,
yeah,
Matrix known for this type of tomfoolery.
I think they play each other relatively frequently because 11 had mentioned something to me about them playing before.
Okay.
Uh, and I mean, 11 is really well known in this community, at least, like the Diamond and Under community. It seems like everyone knows who he is. So
Okay.
maybe just trying to throw him off his game, like Matrix is trying to throw him off his game. Because 11 is can be a bit of an emotional player, or at least has been known for that. I think recently, it, I don't know, I haven't heard anything recently. Like it's been quite some time since I've
Okay.
seen 11 get really passionate about something. And I think that he's been playing really solid recently, so I'm not exactly sure what to expect, but I don't know. It looks like Matrix is going to lose his probe. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a little
Queen got some
greedy.
their gross little crab arm.
Yeah, it's so gross, eh? And then, have you ever noticed, like, they only, I guess you maybe wouldn't have noticed, but they only do range attacks, but they actually have a melee attack animation if they get too close?
Yes.
Same with the
I did know that.
mm, same with the Roach. The Roach also has a melee attack animation, but only does range damage.
That one I didn't notice.
So
That's cool.
11's scouting over the Stargate, and Matrix sees it and has rallied onto the Overlord. So that's pretty fun. Like they're both like see each other, and they're just gonna kind of deal with it. I guess I'm not sure. 11 though is rallying another Overlord to the same position, so he might actually lose both of these for relatively nothing.
Yeah. Always frustrating to lose overlords, especially early. Got to
Yeah,
pay the big bucks to get them back, and it eats up your larvae.
yeah, exactly. Because he doesn't even have any more in production, and this will supply block him if he loses both of them. So there's the Void Ray out. Let's see what it does.
Zerg is imbalanced, so you can just build structures to get yourself out of supply block, no?
Yeah, I guess you could. I never thought of it like that, but yeah, you're right. You could
No,
do that.
it's not an effective thing to do.
No, it's definitely not effective, but you could do it.
build 40 spines if you have the change, you know.
So 11 is supply blocked, but he's building 3 now, getting the lair at what I believe is a normal time. There's no other tech down yet, eh?
No, I haven't. No, not that I've seen.
Yeah. So just the spawning pool, just speed. A couple of like a few more links than I would anticipate. Maybe expecting if there is an adept that goes across the map, but Matrix is actually moving across the map with 2 void rays, which I
Ooh.
think might be a little. Oh, oops. Might be a little bit challenging with only the 1 queen.
Yeah. 11 also having not. Oh, Stankrest. He's at least got a spore in the main and one finishing up in his third to help defend against the Void Rays. I was gonna say you should be aware of them because they've been barbecuing his overlords.
Yes.
So good defense. I mean, Spine's pretty good, or pardon me, Spore's pretty strong against early Void Rays.
Yeah, and with the queens, like the queen's repositioning
Yeah.
perfectly. He's got some transfuses available. I'm not sure how many. Like, I don't know what the ratio is, kind of thing. Like, I don't know how many void rays can actually beat, or like how many void rays do you need to beat a queen, kind of thing. But I'm assuming it's probably 2 void rays to a queen, and then so like 3 void rays versus 3 queens probably is better for the queens if they have the transfuse energy. It's my guess
Yeah.
at least.
I mean, you're probably about right there.
Oh yeah, nice transfuse. Matrix pulls the void ray away, and at the same time, 11 is trying to like counterattack, but unfortunately, he's not going to find any damage because Matrix has adepts really well placed. I don't know if you've seen this before, but where you put so basically, if you look at Matrix's third base, there's a pylon, nexus, and then you just sneak 2 adepts, 2 adepts on in between them, you know.
Yeah, I see. Oh,
And
what's this?
so it decreases the surface area for the lings, and the adepts win the fight against more lings than they should because the lings
Oh,
can't
I
get a
see.
full
Okay.
wraparound.
Yeah, sure. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, I like that actually. Nice little bit of positioning.
Oh, that void ray gets away. Oh, wait, is it gonna get away? Yeah, it didn't necessarily. I mean, I think 11 could have turned around and probably killed that. The queens are going into the main, and at the same time, 11's doing a relatively large Hydra attack.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. I did see the Hydra Den, but didn't mention it.
It's a.
Um,
I think it's a bit of a
they
weird
have
timing.
they have the range upgrade, so like pretty threatening. Even with the voids coming back, I think the
Oh,
Hydras are quite
Srep-
strong.
Oh,
Ooh,
that was unfortunate.
that
This-
was unfortunate.
I was thinking that maybe 11, like because the lings got on the other side of the wall before the force field dropped, I was thinking 11 might have kind of seen that and been able to kind of pre-split, but Hydras are so slow that even with pre-splitting, I'm not sure exactly how, like, what's the best outcome there, you know?
Yeah. 12 more Hydras in production, so this is pretty committed here. Also noting that he's not building the speed upgrade right now. So I think his Hydras are going to be slow for a while.
Yeah, so that was six probes, got the cyber core. I mean, I guess I can just pull up the units lost. So 11 is down, actually, in that regard, and he's going to keep kind of parade pushing. I don't know. I don't normally like this with Zerg after the other race has stabilized. You know, like, if there was still an
Yeah.
open wall, or if there was already, like, lings in the main base or something, then perhaps this is when you keep fighting. But I think I would like it better from 11 to drone up.
I think I'm with you there, at least to keep a squad of Hydras at home. Like, they're pretty strong defensively against the Void Rays. These are some absolutely devastating disruptor shots
Yeah,
from all the way downtown.
that was like almost right at the edge of their vision. So now the Hydras are gonna go home. The Queens are spreading creep. It's good. Spore crawler, more Zerglings. 11 doesn't have a ton of gas. I wonder. He's got the 3 gas, or he's got 3 gas geysers going. So that gas account is basically as good as it should be. Zerg units are just so darn expensive in gas.
True. Um,
Matrix, his Twilight Council is pretty, what I think is pretty delayed. Again, I don't know anything about the proper timings, but I was expecting speed to already start when you have this many zealots. And there it is. There's zealot charge. So, yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Lots of upgrades coming, I think, for both players. Um, ranged, range damage and Hydra Speed had just finished for 11, and it's now opting for some more upgrades. So I like that both armies are being upgraded right now. Keeps things square. I think we got a real game on our hands, you know?
Yeah, Matrix is...
And infestors.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was what
yeah.
I was going to say that. But so now Matrix can just be super annoying with these Void Rays, right? Like, he's got such a squad with Prismatic Alignment. Basically, all of these armored buildings are going to go down. And even just, like, picking off the gases and flying away is annoying enough because 11 needs that gas to make other gas units. You know, like, it's a pretty simple, I don't know, just idea here, I guess.
Yeah,
It's just, like, constantly fly in and harass.
it's a simple and effective harass, right? To keep rebuilding that. What's the build time on an extractor? It's, you
I
know.
don't know. You can't actually see it unless, like, we're using it. It doesn't tell you unless we're using a different, like,
Yeah, but I
over.
thought with your encyclopedic knowledge of Zerg structure build times, you might be able to
I,
enlighten us.
I failed you. I don't
I'm
even
sorry.
deserve to be your co-caster.
I'm embarrassed for you.
Uh, so the Golden Armada is here now, which
Oh,
is
hell yeah.
pretty scary to be 11, I would imagine. I mean, he's getting Vipers. I like how he's kind of pre-split the Hydras, presumably because he's scared of if there's more Disruptors, because that's the kind of the other thing is 11 hasn't really seen that much since he did that kind of like aggressive attack.
That's true. We know that the Void Rays throughout the game have been keeping his vision and his supply low by frying his Saki boys.
Mm-hmm. It's a really
Um,
gross name, but yeah, you're right. Okay, so Matrix is going in. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, okay, pulling away. Oh, big disruptor shot. Yeah, another one. That's too bad.
a nice
Like,
little zealot run by happening at the fourth base,
oh,
the
nice,
fifth base rather.
nice call, nice call. Oh, that was another huge disruptor shot we just happened to get. Oh my God, poor 11.
Is this StarCraft or a Milwaukee Bucks game?
I mean, I personally hate playing against disruptors, and you don't get enough practice against. Or at least I find I don't get enough practice against them because like, not a lot of Protosses do actually make them. So when I get the Protosses that do make them, it's like I am not prepared to be able to split against these. I don't know how to do this. You know, like it basically is either going to go like if the Protoss misses all their balls, then I'll win easily, and if Protoss hits, I don't know, even one of them, my whole bio army is gone. And, I mean, I guess this seems a little bit like balance winding, and maybe it is.
Yeah, you want to stop, or
Yeah.
I'd be happy to hear you keep going. But
Well,
yeah, I love like I mean, strong disruptor play is so satisfying. Like any one-hit mechanic in any game feels good to hit it. So I imagine Matrix is pretty pleased with himself by this point. He's had some huge disruptor shots.
that's a good point. It feels good to hit it, and then it feels very frustrating to be hit by it. I think that's a
Oh,
really good way to describe disruptors.
oh yeah.
So 11's trying to tech into Lurk. Oh, that was a pretty big parasitic bomb. Matrix is doing a pretty good job of getting that out of his army relatively quickly. 11's not eating this disruptor shot, so, I mean, hey, things are going pretty good.
He's learning.
Oh, but he's going to eat this one? No, actually, pretty good dodge there.
Like 4 or 5 lings, yeah. A pittance.
Oh, I like this surround. I really like this surround.
That was
but
awesome.
I don't love the attacking into the static D because the army's just going to turn around, and it's pretty... I think it's pretty scary. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure exactly, like, the Hydra to Void Ray to carrier ratio. Like, there's not that many carriers in the army. And actually, I think the scary thing is going to be the Storm, which I'm not sure if 11 knows Matrix has.
I you gotta He's got to be expecting it at least a little, right?
Yeah, but sometimes, at least when I play, I delude myself where I see the High Templar, and like he hasn't stormed yet, so
There's
I'm
no
like,
way he's got
yeah,
Storm.
he doesn't have storm yet. This guy's
Oh, huge fungal. We're talking about disruptor shots. Look at this.
that was a really sick fungal. And there's something going up the left side. I'm just gonna quickly look at it. It is DTs, that's what I thought. So 11 never. Oh, that was a big storm and a big fungal. So both players are doing good on their spell casting. These DTs are picking up nothing really because 11 never retook this base, but presumably they're moving towards this, I don't know, fifth base or whatever you call it, the outside base. Inside base, sorry, inside base.
The base where stands the swarm.
Yeah. 11 doesn't. Oh, 11 does have detection. Oh, they're just hanging out in the natural. Oh, and his army is out of position. The Sky Toss army is moving through. When Poon and I were casting the Berserker games, the ones that we did after our stream last week, there was a couple of Protoss. Actually, there was a lot of Protoss Berserk, and almost all of them were like this, essentially. Sky Toss and Zerg trying to do something else and dying, basically. So I think that this is probably the meta at this elo. It's just so strong.
Look, he just sweeps in. He's got the what are the little ships called? Interceptors?
Yeah, interceptors. But I mean, there's actually a huge parasitic bomb going on in the entire army. So like, while Matrix did a really good, oh, and that was actually really cool abduct on just like a singular Templar. I don't know. I would think that that's worth it because he gets it off and they lose the energy. Good abducts on the carriers here. I mean, good for
those
11.
are awesome.
It's hard to, or at least I think it's hard to control units like the Viper or the Raven because they don't have an auto attack, so they will just A-move right into the entire army if you're not like good enough, like if you're not paying attention. High Templar at least have an auto attack. Not, I don't think it's very good, and it probably has the very similar circumstance that they will just kind of A-move in the army, but at least they won't A-move like past the army. Like Vipers will fly right past the army if you A-move, kind of thing. You know, like
just right through to the other side.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I've had nothing but trouble with Vipers in my short history of playing.
Yeah.
I mean, they did help me at a point when I think I was facing a lot of Turtle Terran, had to remove a lot of tanks. It was easy because you have a lot of time where you can kind of like load up your spell, get ready to cast it on the tank. Like, but the aerial units are obviously a lot more agile. So I'm pretty impressed with what 11's done so far.
Yeah.
Picking off those carriers
and well, like what you're saying, Vipers are really good for blinding clouds, but I think blinding clouds are exclusively for low ground or ground units, you know? Not I don't think it works on air. I'm actually not 100% sure.
I'm not sure either.
But I almost never see it against air. Maybe it's just because it's so easy for them to just move out of the way and instead is better for siege units, like better against siege units, or it exclusively works against siege units. I'm not sure exactly. This is a lot of really high energy High Templar. That was kind of looked like a bit of a storm on himself and then a storm on the Hydras. 11 just does not have enough workers. Like his army supply is big, but he doesn't have any workers. And I don't know. I think Hydra's by himself, like as much fun as it is. Oh, there are a couple lurkers under there, but there's not a ton of ground forces.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm assuming.
I think the lurkers remaining behind and maybe. Yeah. Sorry, I was gonna say remaining behind after the attack and hopefully picking off some high value units might be good, like the Templar, I guess, would be their primary target.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Templar, and then if Matrix goes back into charge lots, that would be the other thing that I would be expecting them to really kind of counter or attack or whatever. I don't know what outranges what. Lurkers with... Wait, does he have the range? Yeah, I think so.
It doesn't seem like he has the burrowing, the fast burrow.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's okay. It doesn't seem to have hurt him too bad so far.
Pretty big storms though. That like.
Yeah.
And then now the super battery gets called, so I guess Matrix wasn't feeling all that scared until right this moment. But he could probably afford to give up this Nexus if he so chose. Looks like he is giving it up, and there is a lot of drones dying on the other side of the map to a pretty big Zealot run by. I was wondering where the reinforcements were, and that's where they are. So, I mean, 11 already had no workers. Now he's got like super no workers.
Yes. Oh wow, yeah.
Oh wow.
And I mean, Matrix has just an enormous bank right now. Like, talk about the Golden Armada.
The solid gold armada, am I right?
Yeah, it's gonna be talking about their bank account, not their their hull color.
I like how Matrix never really stopped with Disruptor, and like he's just continuing to make them. Like, this is such a cool comp to do, and like, while I hate playing against it, I definitely understand why it's a chosen comp, and it's not like it's super easy to be able to control all these spellcasters at once.
No, I think it always is nice to see somebody playing this comp well, right?
Yeah. Like, I think that there's a stigma between like, or like for something that they call the A move race, but like there's a bunch of it's not that easy. Like, there's a bunch of spellcasters in this army. It's not just simply like, you know, click the carriers and then take your hands off the keyboard.
No, of course not.
And every race has the potential to be a movie. Like, I'll tell you, my favorite time in Terran is when I can get to the position that I can just A move and win. You know, like, that's what I want to be able to do, you know?
Well, that's ultimately StarCraft, right? Like, you build a bigger army than your opponent, and then you destroy their base.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, because, like, why make the game harder for yourself if you don't have to? Oh, hey, 11 just... he just abducted his own Zergling. That's so unfortunate. But
that's what happened, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it happens. No big deal. And, man, these DTs are doing so much work. I don't know... Oh, and he's even got DT Blink. But, like, I'm not sure exactly what you do against this. Like, like, as Terran, I know what I would do against this. I would get a missile turret and a planetary fortress, you know? Like, and then you're kind of protected in your outlying bases. But, like, I feel like a spine crawler, obviously because it's, like, HP and DPS is way worse than a than a planetary, that probably that's not what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I think by this... Oh, yeah. By this point, I don't know how 11 can stay in the game any longer. Both armies are so teched up.
Yeah.
Matrix has a huge bank, and 11 really has no workers. It's
yes.
Kind of a slow crawl toward death.
Yeah, and like, I mean, people are allowed to stay in as long as they want for sure. And this seems more like a Terran player timing. But
yeah, could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not just the workers, but like having more workers definitely would be helpful. I mean, Matrix doesn't even have that many workers either. He's like super maxed out on,
army
super
units.
maxed out on army units. You know, like his army supply is actually just huge. Production tab, yeah, okay. All right, we're good. So like, I mean, Matrix could take more bases if he wanted to, but again, as you already pointed out, like he's got a huge bank. He could drop more production facilities, but I mean, he has to lose the first army first, so it's not like he has to worry about that. And I don't know if 11's really going to have anything to be able to kill this army. I was wondering if 11 maybe was thinking that a base trade was the way to go. You know, like you're in this position already, you might as well just base trade. But he's coming to defend his kind of like only mining base, really. Yeah.
Do you think Matrix is just trying to hit the disruptor shots to give on it to put on a good show? Because I think by this point he he'd be pressing the attack a bit harder. It seems like he could probably end it.
Well, I think he can too, but I also think that there's something to be said, like, because I mean, who likes to get disruptor shotted, like, you know? So there's something to be said when you're, especially when you're in a best of 5, that if you can tilt your opponent, then your other two games are going to be like a little bit easier. Your opponent's not going to be thinking rationally, and I don't know anything about 11 or his state of mind here, but like if I get, I don't know, like let's say you play your heart out, like clearly your opponent's very passionate and he really wants to keep playing this game even though he's basically at you know, minus or like half your supply kind of thing. Then if you can keep air quotes here abusing a unit that maybe could cause tilt, then you might as well keep doing it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But to me, by this point, it just seems like self-abuse on the part of the part of 11.
Sort of, yeah.
And I don't mean any disrespect, but I think in a 5-game series, I'd be out of here. I'd be trying to get fresh for the next one. But maybe, you know, first match, so maybe he's just warming up. He's we've seen some great spell casting. Maybe there's a few other things he wants to shake out.
I mean, the same logic could be applied from 11. Maybe 11 is just kind of kicking it and warming up, like you said, and maybe Matrix is getting tilted that 11 won't leave. You know, like it's the same general, like it's the same general idea. Like where it's like, geez, why won't this guy just leave, kind of thing, and then maybe Matrix will play a little bit tilted in the next game.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, mind games and whatnot. But so 11. I would call this a base trade, but Matrix isn't really taking the bait, and he's just going to fight it. Like, this maybe could have been when Matrix would have just went across the map and killed 11. But he's going to...
could even...
Yeah.
Yeah. GG from 11.
And a very good first game.
Yeah. Man, you go through life, you try to be nice with Protoss. That's pretty good.
Thanks, man. I made this one when I got home, and I had been driving for like 12 hours. I was stuck at the American border for like an hour. It was so long. Just because so many people were trying to get through, I guess, and there were so many like Canadian plates, so like so many people were trying to, like, you know, get through the flooding and whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I gotta make a meme if we're gonna do this. I gotta make a stupid a stupid thing. So then I saw that picture and I was like, I got this. I'm doing this. So spawning in the bottom right, the red Zerg currently down 0-1, but this is a pretty good Zerg map. I think it is 11.
And spawning in the top left, representing GDAT, it is Matrix, the master of disruptor shot, apparently.
We saw, Poon and I casted a game where you see like the rocks in the middle of the map?
Yeah.
A Zerg proxied a hatch on his side of the rocks and then tried to like creep crawl to the Protoss main, or Terran main. It was so funny. And then after
so strange.
Well, after the game, we're like, what is this even? Like, this seems like such a weird place. He's like, I accidentally misplaced. I meant to be on the other side of the rocks. And it was like, oh yeah, that makes more sense. You know, like, because he was on the wrong side of the rocks, and then he had to like get queens to spread creep around the rocks because he was trying to break the rocks down, but rocks have like insane armor and shit. So like,
yeah,
it was just. Oh, it was just a comedy of errors. It was a very funny game. And then it ended up being a really weirdly long game for such a strange start. Like, it was almost like a macro game.
Nice.
So 11 early pooled. I don't know if it was 12 pool or not, but it was very early. And Matrix did an early scout again, so, like, you know, that's... He knows it's coming. He's doing the perfect response here. He's getting the second fast gate. He's getting the chrono boost zealot. He's getting the pylon in the wall just in case something gets around.
You got 10 Lings on the way to the base with more yet in production. Oh, sorry, no more in production. They're all
A pretty good pullback micro there by 11. I think he only lost. Did he lose? He lost two. 2 lanes for 1 zealot. I think it's a pretty good trade. But
I
once
think
this
so.
other zealot pops, oh, the full surround. Oh, actually, this might
Oh
be
my
the really.
goodness.
This is probably best case scenario for 11.
Oh.
I don't think that they're gonna be like. I don't know though. Like, is this worth it? Like, it's a lot of
I don't
links that
think
are just
so.
gonna die. I don't. Oh wait, are they gonna be able to get this round on the? No, okay. Matrix making the adept pop on the
Smart.
correct side.
Good rally.
Yeah.
Good rally, micro.
Can 11 get this cyber core? Is gonna be the big question.
That would be a big pain in the butt. I think he's gonna get it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have no idea if this is good and like, you know, quote, good enough for 11. He is droning up like a madman now. He's on gas. He's double on. Oh, but that's because he's only on 2. Okay, yeah. Okay, so he's not necessarily putting too much in gas because there's always a chance that he might pull out of it.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Like, so what kind of delay does that put on unit production for the Protoss to lose that cybernetics core?
Well, I think that the biggest delay from it is that Matrix hadn't thrown down his Stargate yet. So that means that he had to wait for it to rebuild to get the Stargate. Now, I don't know the exact Stargate timing. Maybe someone in chat does, but I think that it is, well, obviously, it's faster than 3 minutes and 30 seconds. But maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. That would be my thought process, because Protoss doesn't necessarily build units until Warp Gate's finished. You know, like, you could have kind of thing, but, like, Matrix being a little cheeky and annoying here, blocking 11's third base. That probe is going to go down. The pylon probably should be cancelled, I would say. It's just delaying him more than anything else. Yeah, nice. Like, right at the last minute cancel. That's playing with fire, Matrix. Playing with fire. So now these double adepts, I don't know if you want to finish this shade. Okay, he doesn't finish it. Did he see the lair? No. So 11 starts the lair, like, raid is the adept shade finishes. Another playing with fire, but I like it. And I wonder what this lair is going to come from. Or I guess lead to, I should say.
I'll be interested to, I mean, we've got a Roach Warren going down just at the top of the third there.
So maybe just Roach speed.
Yeah. Yeah, like three base Roach timing. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
Unfortunately, the same thing's happening where 11's got a bunch of overlords on Matrix's side of the base, so that means
yeah.
But he preemptively built extra overlords this time. So 11 already had his, like, 3 overlord boost, and I'm not sure exactly. Maybe that's because the Stargate was delayed. Like, maybe that's why he had the opportunity to do that this time. 11 also gets the full scout, so, like, I think this is really pretty good for 11, to be honest. Like, he saw that there was a faster Twilight Council than last game, and this is not the best fight for the Adepts in the, or for the Lings to fight against the Adepts, but I mean, they were going to die anyways without being shaded out. Hydra Den too. Roach Hydra?
Sure. Roaches are nice to have on the front. They're tankier than the Hydras. But I mean, they're not. I guess we don't know whether 11 is expecting Sky Toss again or not, because against Void Rays, the Roaches tanking for the Hydras is a little irrelevant.
Yeah, right. I mean, 11 did see the Twilight Council, but he'd already thrown down the Roaches before that anyways, though. Maybe just playing like shoving Roaches in your face is kind of a style. Maybe we're going to see like a Queen Walk or something. But 11 is getting 12 drones, and I guess I also don't know when Queen Walks are supposed to kind of leave the base or hit or anything. Creep's not crazy anywhere. Like, it's not like we can see like a particular highway or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going to see a Queen map or a Queen walk, I think that this map probably is pretty good. It's a pretty small map.
It is, yeah, much smaller than the last one. He's kind of operating with just the regular number of queens you'd want to be spreading creep. So I don't know.
3 and
I think this is late for a queen lock. Just uh,
yeah, and actually, you know what? Come to think of it, I'm pretty sure that people were talking recently about how 11 doesn't like queen walks. So maybe he's not going to queen walk.
am I right?
Well, I mean, Scarlet loves. Where is it, Scarlet or Lambo? Somebody was just defeated Trap with queen walks like
Bunch of
over and
queens.
over again, basically.
Really?
Yeah,
I should look that up maybe.
yeah. Definitely the last final. Like, so not the. So we just finished the winter finals, and I'm pretty sure that Scarlet did go pretty far. She got 4th, and I imagine there was probably a bunch of queen walks involved in that. But then the season finals before that, the fall season finals, I know that her and Lambo both beat Trap in their group, and I'm pretty sure that they both queen walked him nonstop. So
Oh, I would have been pretty salty after that.
yeah, well, yeah, especially because Trap is like such a amazing, like he's supposed to go way further, basically. You know, like
Yeah,
he's a very
yeah.
successful. Wait, we're seeing the same like Hydra-esque timing. I wonder what the Roach one was for.
Yeah, this is a similar look to the last game, opting for the movement speed upgrade instead of range, which I think is a pretty good choice.
Yeah, especially on a smaller map, and it's kind of
Yeah.
catching Matrix with his pants down. As long as
It
there's
is. He's absolutely gonna get this base.
there's one
I
disruptor.
I hope he goes home.
Yeah, don't go up the ramp into the disruptor because it's the exact same thing that happened last time.
I don't know, maybe he's gonna take the cybernetics core again. Like, it's just like looking for ultimate tilt capabilities.
Pretty good micro here by Matrix on those Void Rays, though. He didn't lose a single one. Holy man. Do they have the Chad Ray upgrade? They don't. Wow, they look fast. Okay, I want to watch these disruptors, but actually Matrix is just turtling in his base, and I think that is the better call. 11 doesn't realize that there's the base up there. Man, if 11 knew that base was up there and he got all those probes, this would be a completely different game.
It'd just be a wipe. Oh, bad positioning on the disruptors, but no high ground vision, I guess, for the Hydras. So
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
okay.
11's gotta be careful though, because he's gonna eat the disruptor shot if he tries to go. Oh wait, the disruptors can't even make it through. 11's fine.
Wow,
now
that's
he's not.
infuriating.
Now he's
I'd
not,
be so
though.
mad if I was Matrix and my disruptor shot went over in the corner.
Yeah, they can't. I guess they
Holy
can't make
shit.
it through there.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. You know, I think by this point, the only thing that I'd change about
There
what
it is, there it
11's
is.
doing is, like, oh, that was some good juke.
Yeah, nice job
Um,
by 11.
You know, with the lair, it might be nice just to have one Overseer to float onto the high ground with the Hydras. Oh, boy.
That was so many.
And that's why I was saying I wanted him to go home, but he's going to pick up one more.
Yeah, that was another
no.
huge disruptor shot, man.
And he didn't get that. He didn't get that warp gate. Oh, ouch.
I have to check the Discord balance chat and see if there was any comments on disruptors after this.
The Zerg limps back to the creep with his weird tentacles between his legs.
That was so unfortunate. Oh man,
Those were huge though. From downtown again, Matrix, man, so good.
11 got that third, like he got third base, and then if he knew that this base was here, like now he's sending the Lings in there, and there's already cannons and the battery, but the battery's not actually going to heal it. So I mean, 11's still gonna be able to get nothing. Never mind. Yeah, that was too bad. Okay, he got like a pylon and some lost mining time.
Probably doing the old giving himself a knock on the forehead for not finding that base earlier. But
Yeah.
he's moving out again with the Hydras. Hydras now with both upgrades and ranged in Carapace upgrades. So
And the Hive's on the way.
hell yeah. Let's see. What are we looking at for tech? Got Infestors and Infestors so far.
Yeah, you need the infestation pit to get to the Hive. Has he
Yeah,
built
true.
any Hive? No, he hasn't. Oh wait, 11 has a ton of drones this game. Nice. I do like the switch up because I think that was a big reason of why he didn't really go further. He's got to be so careful of these disruptors though. Like God, they're so dangerous.
They are.
Okay, a bit of a
Get
whiff of a
away.
shot, but you still like
Nice.
you need him to do that 3 times is the problem. So you know, like the
And then you got to do it like 3 times in pretty quick succession. Like the cooldown's not too long on the disruptor shot, is it?
no, no, it's not. It's not like it's not crazy long or anything. Hey, that was a pretty good split by 11 there.
Yeah, once again, I think 4 or 5 Hydras, but could have been worse.
Yes. Well, yeah, from the like 12 kill disruptor shots that we've been seeing, it could have definitely been worse. Matrix is going in. Oh, he's already got Storm. Man, fast upgrades.
Yeah, these guys do not mess around with the upgrades. I love it.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, 2 disruptor shots just whiffed. There's 1 more disruptor shot. 11 might be able to just headbutt his way into this, but I guess I do like the call of going home instead. I think I would even like it better if he rotated to that newly taken 3rd base, 4th base now or whatever. Like, because the problem with this style is that they just like Protoss gets so much static D. It's always hard to break into it, and then they just kind of like crawl their way through. It's kind of like playing mech, sort of. So what you want to do is, or at least if I was Terran playing this, the idea that I would think would be to try to stop them from taking bases and setting up static D. That's what I would think at least.
Right on. I mean, I don't think I could agree more. So these Hydras now are 2-2 and looking very formidable. I hope he decides to push now. I think now's the time. We just had the Lurker Den finish. Maybe he wants to morph a couple before engaging, but...
Wait, the Lurker Den just finished or just started?
Just finished.
Is he getting a second one?
Oh, sorry. It's just about finished.
Right, okay. Oh,
My
hey.
bad. I don't know why I thought it finished.
Oh, feedbacks on the Vipers. Man, this... Oh, and then a huge disruptor shot. Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
Oh, but 11 is yoinking the disruptors, which I do like, but the only problem is that I think that his army loses in a straight-up fight against these Archons and Void Rays with disruptors backing them up. Oh, actually, it's so close. That was a pretty good storm. The charge lots should be able to clean this up, though.
Cut through those Hydras like butter.
And Maddie,
11 hopefully going to be... Huh?
I don't know if you looked at chat, but your favorite Zerg player is here.
Oh, hi, Papa Panda. How are you?
Papa Panda, you got a big fan in Maddie. So 11's building basically exclusively Hydras, which I know was your build when
Exclusively
you were
Hydras.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. It's always on those upgrades, though. It's maybe the one thing that could be commended on my plays.
Oh, okay. Pretty big storm into the middle of the Hydras. Hey, that was a pretty good disruptor.
You see how far the body went?
Yeah, I did.
It's kind of funny.
So the Golden Armada's already here, and now the Super Battery has been used. I think 11 wants to back off. So you just back off. You let the Super Battery. Okay, so you don't fight into the Super Battery, basically.
It's that disruptor, though.
Yeah, it keeps fighting into the Super Battery. Okay, now you go in when there's no Super Battery. I like that.
Ooh, those...
Oh, that was such a big disruptor shot, unfortunately. He was pre-splitting.
I think he baited it. I think Matrix baited out those Hydras with the single High Templar.
Yeah, well, that was what it was, for sure, because 11 was trying not to get stormed.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even with this, I think 11 is in an okay position. I mean, it would be... so he's taking a 5th base. He's got a good drone count. I guess he's got to be careful not to just trickle his army in. You know, like, because I don't really think he's going to break this, but... Like, I like the choice to go up the... okay, never mind. I mean, like, just... I would attack where there's no cannons and static D, which is way harder said than done because there's cannons and static D everywhere. Nice yoink on the one disruptor. How long do we need for... So battery overcharge is already off cooldown. It's such a fast cooldown. But another super battery could be used if Matrix felt it. I wonder if Microbial Shroud would be good here or not.
What does that do?
So that's a new upgrade, new in quotation marks, in like the last year and a half or whatever. But it's a
Yeah.
new upgrade from the infestor that basically lowers the damage that air units do to Zerg. I'm pretty sure.
Really, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't get used all that much because it's such a specific upgrade. You know, like you need.
Yeah.
It's such a specific situation to be in. But I have
So
seen it occasionally used in games against Skytoss. But I guess Matrix is kind of moving out of Skytoss. There's actually a lot of charge lots. There's 18 charge lots. There's one Archon.
Fortunately, those Vipers at the front of the army gonna go down.
Yeah,
Lurkers making their first appearance.
Yeah, and these Lurkers should be good against the charge lots.
You're gonna shred these charge.
Oh,
but the disruptor shots.
Yeah, unfortunately, the disruptor wombo comboed with the storm.
But I like the positioning of the Lurkers here.
Yeah, they're like
keeping
tanks.
the ground units while the Hydras move up ramp. I think that looks pretty good on 11's part.
Yeah, I don't think 11 realizes that he's fighting into a super battery here. Maybe he does now, because he's targeting down buildings. Because like super battery will automatically attack or target units, but it won't automatically target buildings. You have to tell it to target buildings. So
Okay.
if you're fighting into a super battery and you really feel the need, or like you're multitasking or something, you attack the buildings because you might be able to get them. You know, kind of thing. Like if you are multitasking and for some reason really committed to the fight sort of thing.
Ooh.
So pretty big cleanup by Matrix. It's unfortunate that the Cybernetics core didn't go down because that's his upgrades, you know? Maybe one of them did? No, never mind. And 11's basically just doing the same thing. He does have Hive though. He has 3/3, which is good. He's got all the Hydra and Lurker upgrades, and he's got Cracklings. So I don't know. I guess this is late game army Zerg for 11. I guess.
This is, yeah. I don't know if it'd be a day late and a dollar short with some Banelings to try and get up that ramp a little, but it's like.
Yeah, I wonder if Banelings would be good against charge lots. You know, like because the charge lots.
I guess no.
No?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I thought you were being, to be honest, I thought you were being sarcastic because you knew.
No, I don't.
If they were bad or not. You think they might be okay?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it just depends on how many it takes to kill them.
Yeah.
If it's if it's too basically, you know, I was just kind of thinking about how the army, like charge lots, run in and clump up, you know, kind of thing. Like I know, like obviously, if you see a lot of Banelings, you want like Archons or something because Archons take 1,000,000 Banelings to kill.
Right.
So it's inefficient.
Gotcha.
Compared to last game, though, Matrix is like 11 is the one with the bank. Matrix has got almost no gas, so I don't think this would be crazy to think that 11's in the driver's seat here and might actually take this game if he can figure out a way, or if like 11 or Matrix fumbles his army.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't take much to turn it around, right?
Okay, so super battery is here. Don't fight into the super battery, and now there's a ton of disruptors, and I'm actually pretty scared for 11. I could be wrong, but Matrix, I'm pretty sure that Matrix is actually the current DLC champion. So I think that, I'm not sure about MMRs or anything. Matrix is Polish, I'm pretty sure, so they don't even play on the same ladder. But I think that Matrix probably is the favorite here. And I always find myself rooting for underdogs.
I mean, I've enjoyed, I think, all of 11's games throughout the tournament.
Yeah, he's a very interesting player. Like the aggressive but also macro playstyles can be very interesting to see people break out both. Another pretty big disruptor shot, unfortunately. Something is so there's a Zealot run by. That's something that Matrix actually hasn't been doing as much this game, is the Zealot run bys. Probably because he hasn't been in such a great position. Like in the first game.
Yeah. I think 11, yeah, has really kept him more preoccupied back at home this time around.
Yeah, but 11's trying to
Um,
mine out and is incredibly inefficient with the mining. The other problem with this map being a little bit smaller is that there's not a ton of bases to actually be able to take.
sure.
So I guess with a little bit of lull in the action, we can say that, because I didn't say it yet, the winner of this moves on to the round of 4, and the round of 4 in this situation is going to get paid. So basically, whoever wins this is going to get paid some amount of money. Maybe not a ton if they get 4th, but they'll get paid something. So
They can go buy a sandwich, maybe.
yeah, or maybe they could get like, let's see. I can't actually remember how. Maybe like the person will get like the 4th place will get like. I have to check my. I can't remember if it's 5% of the prize pool or 10% of the prize pool. I just been doing the same thing I've always done, you know. But if it's 10%
Yeah,
of the
I
prize
gotcha.
pool, then he's gonna get $6 American. If it's 3%,
American.
oh yeah, we do everything in American with Maturino because they don't have
That's
a Canadian
like
option.
that's like $15 Canadian.
Whoa.
It's not really that many,
No.
but it's
I
quite
know.
I know. But the viewers might not.
That's true.
You know, I don't want them to think that our economy is that bad.
No. So 11 just sent a ton of Zerglings in, and I think they did actually get some kills on the Disruptors. Like, I'm assuming that's what he's targeting is the Disruptors and the High Templar, but it kind of looks like, and I'm not sure exactly why, maybe it's because his bank is pretty much exhausted, but it looks like 11 is really slowing down here. Like, his army production is nowhere near what it used to be, and he never really teched. Now, I don't know what army you tech into to deal with this. Maybe, like, Corruptors? Maybe? I'm not sure exactly. But those are huge Disruptor shots.
I think you're right. Like against the composition that Matrix has, Corruptors might be pretty good. There's not really anything that would shoot up at them, and they make pretty quick. Oh, I guess except the Intercept. The Interceptors attack air unit.
Yes, yes, they can.
Yeah.
They
So I guess other than that, but
like
like a ball of Corruptors can make pretty quick work of
well, because
carrier.
they have a high DPS if you stutter, like not stutter step, but like you know how you fly in, you attack, you fly out, sort of thing. Like that's what I would think. They'd be like a big ball of Vikings. Obviously, you need more. You know, like you need a lot of Corruptors for that, and neither of us are anywhere near as high level as these guys with Zerg or Protoss. So I'm not.
It's true.
Yeah. I don't know what the correct call is. I agree, though. I think 11 was looking very good in that game, but I'm not sure maybe if teching would have been the better choice. But either way, spawning in the top left, playing for Risen from the Ashes, it is 11.
And spawning in the bottom right, it is Matrix hoping to close out this series with one more win.
Yeah, because I mean, even the other thing is like, let's say 11 had changed into Spire and got Corruptors and stuff. Maybe he just doesn't feel comfortable or doesn't like them as much, or
Yeah.
ooh, man, Matrix going for that early block again, but not getting it. So I think 11 probably feels pretty good about that. I don't know, like, what's the normal hatch timing? Is 15 normal, or is 15 the one that you get when you're scared your opponent's going to try and hatch block you?
15 I think is pretty standard.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, I mean, it was very close, so I
If
guess...
he was scared, he probably could have hatched at like 12. I don't know how good that is, though. I think it's good that he waited till
Yeah, well, I was thinking
normal timing for the pool.
14 probably is the earliest that I see, but
Yeah.
I don't super... Well, I mean, I never watch this matchup because it doesn't involve Terrans. And it looks like 11's going for a really fast third base. When I see a third base this quickly, I normally immediately think it's either like a Ling Flood or a Baneling Bust. And I don't know if that's the same in this matchup, but that's normally my immediate thought process is like, this looks macro, so it's not going to be.
It's just faking it.
Yeah, well, that's what it seems like everyone on ladder does to me. I don't know if it's a normal, like, mind game to play or if I'm just coming up against the degenerates, but, you know.
I know what you mean.
Still no gas from 11. So maybe this is just a legit macro. And Matrix went Stalker first. I think this is the first game that he's done so. I
It
wonder.
is. He's opened, I think, either Zealot or Adept the last 2 games.
Unfortunately, 11's gonna lose this Overlord. I think. I mean, a Stalker's DPS is so like it's actually just garbage, but I think
Yeah, in like
that it's gonna die anyways.
25 minutes or so, I think they'll lose that Overlord.
The thing that I'm interested. Oh, okay. So 11 does see the Twilight Council. That was what I was interested in, is if because he has the potential of thinking that this is just a Stargate opening again, because that's what it's always been. But now it's actually going to be a Twilight Council, and 11 got to see it. So I would think that there's probably 2 possibilities here. We're either going to see Blink, which I bet you is probably pretty weird in this matchup. If I was like in TVP, if I see that early of a Stargate, I definitely think that it is Blink. But instead, as 11, I would imagine that he's probably thinking it's Glaive Adepts. It's just my guess. Oh, or DTs. I totally forgot about DTs. Never mind, I take it back.
Yes, it could be DTs. When in the lead, DT, right? Isn't
Yeah.
that?
When you're Protoss, DT. Man, poor 11. Eating all the disruptor shots. Now he might get sneaky DT'd. But I think that didn't, in the round of 16, Radio Comp tried to sneaky DT11, and he basically hard countered it. So
Oh, he shut that down real hard,
I
if I remember
wonder,
correctly.
yeah, I wonder if 11 just has a special DT sense or something.
It wouldn't surprise me. Um, not many people know this, but having the DT sense actually inhibits the disruptor shot sense.
Yeah, you can only have, it's like in Fallout where you have to pick good perks and bad perks, you know? So,
Yeah,
you know,
4 eyes, or you
yeah,
terrible perception if you don't have your glasses.
my glasses, but
My
sunglasses,
glasses.
sunglasses counted so that you could look
Yeah,
cool while doing it.
exactly, right?
So 11's doing some sort of early roach aggression, I guess. He doesn't really have that big of a drone count for having the third base. I don't know if this is actually a cheese, though. He's moving... Actually, maybe he does have a DT sense. Like, he's moving perfectly into position to intercept these DTs.
And he's also got overseers holding position. Pardon me, not holding position, but at least stationed at each base.
Yeah, like, it's perfect. Like, it's actually just a perfect defense. Well, I think it's perfect. Maybe it's not perfect. 11 probably did make mistakes, but, like, it's
It looked real good.
Yeah, for the layperson, it definitely looks like this is a perfect defense. And now 11 presumably knows he's going to get Archon dropped, because that's a pretty common follow-up to this. But I don't know about the Zealot run-by. I don't know how common having a Zealot run-by at the same time is. And that's definitely something that people struggle with, especially at, quotations, lower MMR to deal with multi-pronged attack.
Yeah.
And if not pulled properly, Archons will absolutely destroy a mineral line. So 11's got a...
He's got some roaches. He's got roaches there, but they're not responding. The ones at the mineral line.
Yeah, he's probably doesn't necessarily have them in the correct control group. Actually, yeah, good defense by 11. See, what I was thinking was that he was trying really hard not to F2 because he's got an army at the bottom to make sure. And now Matrix is just doubling down here with more charge lots and pretty good Archon pickup. I don't think these Archons will ever die. Yeah.
I was actually a little surprised there watching the roaches attack the Archons, how little they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the problem, is that Archons are just so beefy.
Yeah.
Where are these DTs? Oh, right here. No. Where did it... Matrix just warped in DTs. Oh, it is right there. I'm just blind. So we're going to see another run by, and... Oh, actually, okay. Never mind. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen this before. It doesn't mean that it is not standard. Maybe 11 plays this all the time. But, like, this multi-pronged harassment and then pick up micro is very strong, I think. Especially if you can do it properly, and it looks like Matrix can. 11's got a really good split on his army though. Like this is something that I
Yeah,
struggle with this so hard.
it's looking really good, and it seems like he's committing a little bit harder to the Roach defense. I'm curious to see what he'll tech behind it, but he's going for Glial Reconstitution and 2 Evo Chambers. Probably see missile and armor upgrades.
Yeah, I think you're right. One Archon dies. I don't know if 11 is planning on just doing like a super Roach bust or something, just shoving roaches down Matrix's face, but Matrix just doesn't really have the economy past this, so I feel like as long as 11 doesn't eat a gigantic disruptor shot, because there is a disruptor that's kind of stuck behind this super weird Sim City. Actually, don't. This is really. I didn't even notice when Matrix threw all these gates down. Like this seems like it was a very committed attack, and the fact that it didn't. Oh wait, 7 drones just died somewhere. From the Archon drop.
Yeah. There's a recall of the what's it called? Warp Prism.
War Prism, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll have to basically see how much damage this is going to do. I think it has the potential to do a lot as long as 11 is careful with the super batteries and the static D. Okay, so that's basically perfect case scenario for 11 there. The super battery is being used on a pylon that is by a battery that's no longer charged, and as long as he doesn't eat any disruptor shots, I think that this is going to be a relatively easy.
He's got a pretty good split going too.
Okay, there's one disruptor shot's pretty big. Stalkers are terrible against roaches, I'm pretty sure. Not, like, you know, don't play these races, but I'm pretty sure the roaches are the counter to stalkers. Maybe not, because Matrix keeps building them, and he definitely would know better than I would.
What doesn't counter stalkers? Am I right?
Well, I mean, I always think of stalkers as being a nice attempt to split there, but
Oh boy,
yeah, unfortunately, some more big
it's a
disruptor shots.
bloodbath.
Maybe that's the thing, though, is like without charge, they're the best kind of like gateway unit you could build. You know, like because
Sure.
adepts aren't really, they're just gonna tickle them.
And they shoot up.
And stalkers shoot up. Yeah, that's a good point.
Although, you know, relevant against roaches.
So 2 ships in a night, unfortunately, that's a lot of Ravagers that have the potential to get cancelled. Oh no, they all survive.
Oh, big biles. Not really. They look good. The sneaky disruptor.
Yeah, man. That's what this series could just come down to is, and then he got disrupted.
Yeah.
Fight me
Has
without
been-
your glowing balls, coward, 11 would say.
And then Matrix looked down at him and whispered, "No."
Yeah. Well, I mean, oh man, I guess Matrix makes the disruptors seem so good. I'm not sure exactly what you're supposed to do against them. Oh, hey, that was
Those were good. Those were good biles.
Yeah, 11
I mean,
caught
those,
Matrix sleeping there.
The Ravagers, kind of like the disruptor of the Zerg, you know? They're big and glowing, and they have a ranged spell cast.
A big run by.
My hot take.
I love it. Big run by in the main, and then army moving out in 11's 4th base. Lots of drones go down. 11's not building anymore. And Matrix is just gonna do it again. I'll do it again, Goofy meme.
Yeah, Matrix probably feeling pretty comfortable again here. Some fancy blink play.
Yeah. Ooh, I thought that was gonna be worse for that. That disruptor shot. I thought it was gonna be worse. So.
Good happy feet.
Fighting on a ramp, eating a lot of biles here, but DT drops and stuff in the main. So 11's got to either go home and deal with that, which I think looks like he's going to do. He just lost the Hydra Den, which is too bad because that's his favorite unit. And now he's going to lose the Lurker Den, his second favorite unit. Oh, wait, that wasn't a Hydra Den, was it? That was Roach
It
one?
was a hydrogen.
Oh,
No, it
was it?
was a hydrogen. Yeah.
Nice. Good job, me. Kind of paying attention to the game. I am caster, man.
I think 11 maybe just looking to do the base race thing. He's
Yeah.
got a pretty healthy third base as long as he doesn't lose his Roach Warren. You know, he can keep up the production of reasonably strong army units.
Yeah, I don't know though. Like,
It looks over.
yeah, lots of damage going down to 11's economy, but Matrix is losing economy too to the Ling run by. Not 20 probes just died. Wow.
Amazing, yeah.
Kind of evening it, sort of, but not really because of disruptors. 11 has the bank though, comparatively at least. Matrix doesn't have that much of a bank.
But he does have almost double the probes
Yeah, and
for
more of an army
workers and
supply.
yeah.
And invisible army too. So if 11 lost his detection, which he's got 4 actually, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But that could be
He's
maybe the idea of having so many stalkers as well would be to kill detection as it comes in. Like shoot down the overseers, you know?
yeah, I know what you mean.
So 4 drones, sorry, 6 drones for 2 zealots and a DTA. I bet you that's probably worth. And 11's got a spine forest here a little bit. No, maybe not a forest, just a little spine blockade. And I think Matrix is just going to kind of walk in and take this base out. Oh, no. Really well dodged bios from 11. And the Lings will do a pretty good job against the Stalkers because of their low DPS. Like the Stalkers, not the Lings.
The Stalker's low DPS.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's a funny. Isn't English the best language?
Yeah.
Special little. It's so easy just to make ambiguous statements with the multiple subjects in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Trying not to get biled is Matrix. And that's 11's entire army. GG gets called. And we're moving on to the next series. So, welcome to the round of 4 Matrix. That's 1 Protoss in the round of 4.
Nice. Great games from both players.
Okay, so now we're going on to a PVT.
So are both those players able to play in the next season of LMSL?
I'm not sure. We'd have to check to see what happens. We're going to take basically the season off, so we'll come back in January-ish. I haven't actually discussed this with you yet, so you and I will have to decide if that works. But
Sure.
the next season begins January 10th, and I am worried right now because the Masters border is just free right now. Like basically, on NA it's 4.2, which a lot of these players already are, and I want to see if it keeps, like, basically I want to see if it goes back to 4.4 next season, or if we're gonna lose a lot of players from the LMSL.
I gotcha.
And then the other problem is EU's border right now is it's like 4.5, and the border on NA is 4.2. So like, do I let 4.4 EU players play, but won't let 4.2 NA players play? Like that's ridiculous. You know,
yeah,
like,
start splitting hairs at that point, right?
yeah. When it was closer, when it was 4.5 and 4.4, that was a little closer. I was fine with that. You know, like no big deal or anything. And I was regularly laddering on EU, and I felt that I was 100 MMR higher than what I was on NA. You know, but like I'm not gonna be, 300 MMR higher on EU than my NA. You know, like it doesn't.
Maybe you should scope it out. Play on EU and see. Maybe you will be 300 MMR higher.
I have to. Yes, I definitely have to do some scoping out. So I guess to answer your question in a long way, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen next
Right.
LMSL season. There will be one though, I promise. Let's do the introduction. Spawning.
Make it to the intro.
Yeah, spawning in the top left, the purple Terran player playing all the way from France. It is Elori.
And spawning in the bottom right, the blue Protoss player that we all know. It is Marth.
Yes, exactly.
Get my funny
Your funny Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem joke.
You know I did. I love Fire Emblem. I love those Fire Emblem games. So Elori opened double gas and still doesn't have an expand yet, and is like hiding a factory in the base. So super weird game so far. Not you know, and then building a Reaper and Marine. Super weird game. I actually have no idea what's happening right now, and I like
ghosts. It's gonna be ghosts.
I mean, ghosts are actually really good in this matchup, so it wouldn't be that crazy. Elori even pulled off of gas. Like this is like it's kind of tank push-y. Like it kind of looks tank pushy. I want to know if this. I really want to know if this Reaper was an accident. I mean, he kind of he's keeping it home. Maybe it was an accident.
Maybe he figures he'll try and do a little scouting.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if you make it, you do
it's
some
gonna-
scouting, but
Might lose. Yeah.
it's a little dangerous. And then, okay, so Elori pulled off of gas, but only for a small period of time, and then put back on gas. Because normally if you pull off gas, you get the CC a little bit faster than this before your starport.
Right.
Where did that go? Oh,
Just gonna.
is he going to get that out? Oh my god, that's so unfortunate because Elori wanted that. In the way that Elori opened, he should have been able to get that. Like having the Hellion and the Marines, and it moved so close into his base, or so far into the base. So yeah, I don't know what this is. Obviously, I guess we're going to see some sort of a Widowmine drop or something. Elori had to drop down a supply, which is too bad, but I mean, it was pretty intense, actually, the opening. Both players microing and macroing. It looked like a pretty high level, albeit a little weird, game.
High level but weird.
Yeah.
That's what we're all about here.
Well, I think we've said it before. Roy is the he's the LMSL Season 1 champion, and he's the LMSL Season 2 runner-up. So it would be kind of crazy to lose Roy in the round of 8. But I did do my own predictions, which I didn't make public to anybody. They were just for my fun. And I had Elori winning the whole tournament. So we'll see.
Really?
I think he's such a good player. I mean, it's my Terran bias for sure. And I would.
It absolutely is.
He's a Terran hope. You know, like there's only 2 Terrans left in the tournament, and I really want one of them to make it into the round of 4 because then we get Terran replays. And this is a huge potential Widowmine shot. No, how did that not go? How did that not hit? You saw that, right?
Too slow. Yeah, too slow, says the Protoss.
Too slow, too slow. I respect you as an equal.
Nice
And
try.
now, okay, so Elori doesn't lose the medevac, which is nice.
That was a good interruption to mining, though.
Yes. It would have been nicer, though, if it had exploded and killed everything. You know, I would have liked that more.
That's what she said. But, yeah. Seen tanks come out now for Elori, as well as the Raven. I don't know what any of this means, Jeff.
I mean, I also don't really know what this means either. Like, it looks like we're going to see so, like, a Raven opening is safe against TVP because you're basically safe against the shenanigans of, like, DTs and stuff. And then tank openings, you're pretty safe against Blink shenanigans, which Roy, at one time, was really enjoying Blink openings. But he's actually going for incredibly fast disruptors, so it looks like maybe Matrix was telling him, hey, disruptors are a pretty good unit. And then Roy was like, ah, thank you.
They're probably talking about it.
But I find that the opening so strange. And, like, Elori went double tech lab, right, for his Raven and then his factory, and then normally you switch that off for the barrackses, because he built tech labs on the barrackses, but he's leaving them on the back. So maybe that's an indication that he wants to go to 5 racks relatively quickly and maybe all in before a third base. Because you'd kind of see a third base maybe within the last minute or so and there's no third base yet. Roy taking his third base also a little late. Late in quotation marks here. I mean, like, it's all relative, right? But I would like
Yeah.
to see my opponent have a third base before now. And maybe that's why Laurie's not getting the third base quite yet. He's thinking that Roy is going to do a bit of an attack. And I find this challenging personally because you anticipate for something that's not happening, but then it's just because both of you are thinking the other one's attacking, so you just stare at each other, and then suddenly you're behind because your opponent has a third base, but you don't have a third base even started yet. And looks like it's... Okay, Alori just pulled all his SCVs. I don't know if you saw that or not.
There was a disruptor drop.
Oh, there was a disruptor drop?
Yeah, it killed 3 SCVs.
Oh, shoot, we missed it.
It looked like it was going to be bigger, but I think there was a little bit of hocus pocus
He's even got...
with moving them away.
Roy's even got War Prism speed.
This guy drops.
This can be very frustrating as the Terran player.
What specifically? Like the harass in the mineral line?
Well, not just that, because you always have to be worried. So, like, Roy's already anticipating it.
Yeah.
So he sees that the army's moving out with this observer, and he's trying to get into a position where his disruptor can basically kill the units as they're walking towards it, so your push becomes significantly worse. And obviously you want to go for the Marines because that's a one-shot kill. Disruptors actually won't one-shot tanks.
Okay. Yeah. How many? So if you had 2 disruptors,
Yeah.
could you blow up 1 tank with 2 disruptor shots?
Yeah.
I think I've seen that type of thing happen. I don't know if that's necessarily what they want.
That's
probably what they want right there.
Yes, unfortunately. So see, basically, oh, okay, pretty big Cheeto dust and a pretty big interference matrix. Yeah, that's what it's called on the Colossi. So this is gonna be a pretty big cleanup for Roy. Alori's microing out his heart. Unfortunately, loses that Raven. And medevac, I think, and he's basically going home.
You remind me, what's the Cheeto dust for?
It lowers the armor. It's an anti-armor missile.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I don't know if Roy really can just attack into this. It is okay. I mean, like, there's no ramp, so obviously that is a plus. Oh, loses the War Prism. Nice pick off by Alori there. I really want to see a third base from Alori. This is kind of like worst case scenario for Terran. Just being stuck. Like, he's getting more production facilities. There's the third base. He's getting more production facilities, and I don't really think that he can afford it all. I could be wrong, though. And looks like we're going to see a Doom drop. Maybe it's nitpicky a little bit, but I would have liked to see these be repaired before they went out because, well,
they're on life support.
Yeah,
one of them, yeah,
one of them is
red.
essentially on life support. Roy's just kind of looking around for the army. He's going to pick off at least one of these Vikings, probably pick off the second one as well. He doesn't have Blink, so that could be a saving grace. And I kind of like how Laurie's going to drop here on the 4th base to take Roy's, I don't know, mind off of things, and then he's going to boost in, sort of. Yeah, there it is. So where's Roy's army? What is Roy's army? Okay, Roy's army is pretty scary. I don't think Alori wants to stay here. Blink is not going to finish, so he should be able to get out relatively unscathed. Nope, never mind.
Gonna lose 2 full medevacs there.
Yeah, and GG gets called, which I think is completely fair.
I do not blame him at all.
Yeah, that was basically everything that could go wrong went wrong, and I've played that game before. You know, like, I've 100% been in Alori's position where that's what happens. You try and play a style, you're like, oh, I'm going to be like early aggression, and then Protoss just deflects it, like, you know, in an anime when you attack with a sword and the villain just kind of pushes it away.
Yeah.
And
then it cuts to the protagonist's face, and they're like, he's fast.
Yeah, exactly. So, best of 5. Oh, wrong player. Currently up. No, sorry, currently down 0-1. It is the purple Terran player, Elori.
And his opponent in the top right, representing New Angels, it is Roy. I'm just going to step away for one moment.
Sounds good. I like that. Cuts the protagonist's love interest. And Crackpot, how's it going, my dude? I saw you got platinum recently, so congratulations on that. So Roy doing his really early scout again. Oh, that's the probe rally. I was like, what is happening here? Gas timing. Is he going to get another gas? Is it going to be Ras, gas, gas? Kind of doubt it. Didn't super find that much damage last game. I guess it's probably pretty hard to Reaper wall here. So maybe a fast Reaper would be good. Oh, never mind. There's the gas. So, Rax, gas, gas. Looking kind of TVT-ish. And this early probe harass as a Terran player is a pretty frustrating to deal with, to be honest. Yeah, even keeping it around, Roy really knows how to be annoying. Quick wall off. Yeah, this looks so TVT. But if it's the current TVT meta, you still get to expand relatively faster than last game. Oh, this is kind of the idea. You do this fast gas stuff in case you're getting proxy starported. At least that's what I've been talking to about players on my clan. Where you open double gas, and if they all in, then you get the faster cyclone. Alori's coming in, he's scouting, he's seeing 2 gases taken, he's seeing no second pylon, he's seeing no expand. There's a pretty good chance that he knows this is on the map right now, or at least I hope that he does. Yep, Reaper finds it immediately. Even before the starport goes down, is Roy going to throw it down? Well, this is unfortunate for Roy, but very fortunate for our Terran hero. Starport at home instead. What an interesting strategy choice by Roy. Alori, thinking that it's still coming in some way, decides to get the bunker. And probably Tech Lab for a Cyclone, I would imagine. This Zealot is dead, as long as Alori is careful. He is playing from France, so they're playing with probably pretty high ping on both accounts here. Zealot's going to survive by the Adept. Alori's got to be careful. That grenade's a little too fast to survive, but I think he should be able to tank one shot and still make it out alive.
Back.
Hey, Maddie. So we saw a pretty interesting beginning, actually. If you look above Alori's third base, there is a pylon, and Roy was looking to proxy Stargate.
Right.
But Alori scouted and saw like the telltale signs of a proxy Stargate, went there basically immediately, killed the probe before it could build the Stargate, and then Roy started building stuff at home. And he's playing a Phoenix strategy.
Oh, cool. So just trying to pick off some units with Phoenixes? What do Phoenixes do against Terran?
They pick up like drops, the drop defense. But actually, what I wanted to point out is look at Roy's gas mining.
Oh God, no, that's the worst feeling.
Yeah, I know.
And do you think he's just like, oh, screw it, I'll deal with it?
What I was thinking is that he was gonna take the gases on the natural right away, like already be building them, so that this, you know, you could just I don't know, take the loss here and unsaturate these gases.
Sure.
But yeah, pretty funny stuff.
That's pretty. I'm glad. I hope everyone get a little laugh out of that.
Yeah.
We like to keep it light here at the LittleMac StarCraft League.
The LMSL, yeah.
Yeah.
We like to have a good time. If my opponent...
You're not...
Or sorry, go ahead.
You say you don't like when people say the full name?
No, I actually don't even like on in Discords and stuff, or like when people message me, they'll be like, "Hey, LittleMac," and it'll be like, "Oh, you don't have to call me that, man. It's kind of weird, you know. Like, just call me Jeff. It's okay."
No, but that's like what people do on the internet.
Oh, I'm well aware, but it's kind of like there's a Terran streamer who goes by the name Up a Tree Zelda, but everyone calls him Sal because that's his name. And I've just never been one for nicknames for myself, you know. And I know I gave myself this nickname, but I was never anticipating like streaming and creating a tournament and like casting
Yeah,
or anything.
I gotcha.
It was just because I love in Little Mac Punch Out, you know. I love those games.
Do eh?
Yeah, used to always play it at Jay's place on his
The Wii or the Wii U?
the Wii U. Thank you. I couldn't remember what that terrible console was called. So Alori is let Roy still have this pylon, which I think is a little dangerous. It's basically just giving him a warping zone if he wants to like do some DT shenanigans or something. But
Yeah.
I like what Alori is doing though, because as I was gonna say a little earlier, if I see that my opponent is opening Stargate like this, I actually normally just build a bunch of Cyclones, a bunch of Vikings, a bunch of Marines, and you just walk across the map and you kill them. You know, like because in this situation here, maybe the timing has passed a little bit, but Phoenix's main job in that situation is to pick units up, but the Cyclones can lock on and they do a lot of damage to them, and then the Marines can focus them down. So like a lot of the
Yeah.
Phoenixes die relatively quickly, and the Stalkers are pretty bad against army if there's tanks mixed in or anything like that. The Zealots cause a little bit of a problem, and especially once charge finishes, then they become way stronger. I don't know what just happened. I pressed the wrong button, but oh, there it is.
So Phoenixes, like, against the composition that Alori has, what are the Phoenixes picking up? They want to pick up the tanks? I haven't.
Yeah. When they fight, yeah, for sure. But like right now, this is kind of what you want to do with the Phoenixes. You want to just not fly into those Marines, but like you pick off medevacs if you can. So like that right there was awesome, and you also grab SCVs. So like 6
Right.
SCVs just died. Now Alori's not mining in the gas at all, and he has to like personally change that, which he's doing currently. But that
Right.
it, you know, like that changes his focus. Obviously, that's something that you don't want to do. You set that at the beginning of the game, and then you don't have to change it until you run out. And then they can also force out things like static D. And the Phoenixes can also like cancel buildings being built. Like let's say that Alori just flew in and picked up that SCV and then put it down building the CC. The SCV
Yeah.
won't go back to building the command center
Oh
unless he
man,
tells it specifically to do it.
that would be frustrating. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. Okay, so Phoenix is
They're just annoying, really. I don't think that
yeah.
they're not going to really be used in a straight up fight because there's so many Marines that like if he tries to
Oh yeah.
dive bomb and pick up those tanks, Elori should be able to pick it off. But that just means that something else something else in Roy's army will be doing more damage to the Marines because the Marines are focusing on something else.
Right. Um, Sometimes we talk about what units look like, and I know we've talked about how Mutalisks look gross when they fly, but um, almost in the opposite way, I really like how Phoenixes look when they're flying, and I love their their strafing and shooting animation.
Yeah,
I think they're really stylish looking.
Okay, so basically what just happened here was that the Phoenixes flew in to take the tank out, but I think Roy underestimated the Marines, and the Marines actually just cleaned up everything here. GG gets called.
Yeah.
Nice win by Alori.
Oh. Yeah. Those Marines too strong.
Yeah, I think. I mean, not 100%, but like when you have the Phoenixes out like that, and they see the army coming, you have to meet the tank push because you don't want the Terrans to get set up. Because the
Right.
Terran setup is scary, but you can't actually fight into it. You just try and pick off as much as you can. But Alori had so much because he went for that quick extra racks. So Alori just had so much that Roy just wasn't ready for it. So, spawning in the top right of Hardwire, the purple Terran player currently 1-1. It is Alori.
And spawning on the bottom left, his opponent, the blue Protoss, Roy. Did I tell you I got a new sandwich place?
No. Is it Subway?
No, it's not Sub. I will never eat at Subway ever again.
That's
I took the vow.
yeah, it's not that good.
It's not. It's really, but like before it was okay, and like it definitely got me through grad school. Like I mean, when you just wanted, didn't make it out for
Yeah.
groceries, had to buy a lunch, and you didn't want to eat like a hamburger or like Manchu wok or something. It
Yeah, when
was
you were
pretty
doing
good.
your PhD in women's studies.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice.
Um, but no, now it's Firehouse Subs is my go-to place for sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
They're in no way healthy, but like they taste pretty good.
Nice.
Good
Is that
sandwiches.
a
Yeah.
chain or is it
It is, yeah, it's a chain.
mm,
There's one by work, so I had one on Friday. It was very good.
nice, Matty. That's awesome.
Yeah. I just know that you're a man of the sandwich as well.
Yeah, I sure am. I actually made such a good sandwich when I was at my brother-in-law's place. I cooked, so I fried garlic like a normal person. You know,
Yep.
obviously that's what you do. And then I cooked eggplant with that garlic to like make it really soft. You know, like
Okay.
super soft. And
Yep.
then I threw in some pizza sauce on that and
Okay.
just let it like mm, simmer.
Marinate.
Yeah, marinate,
Simmer, sure.
simmer, so that it was super soft. And then at the same time, I made garlic butter because they didn't have garlic butter and they didn't have like garlic powder or anything. So I impromptu made garlic butter, and then I spread it on the sandwich buns, and then I broiled them. Then I put cheese on it, and then I put the eggplant on, and then I baked them.
The
And
old eggplant hero.
yeah, it's good.
Nice. Good. Um, I like to picture a situation where you were making the sandwich and you got everything on place, and then you turned around and said, "All right, where do you guys keep your garlic butter?" And they said, "We don't have any garlic butter." And you were like, "What?
Well,
Why am I making an eggplant hero
they didn't even
without
have.
garlic butter?"
Oh, hey, Laurie went double Reaper. I wonder if that was on purpose. And he's 4 in gas and 1 in gas. But they didn't even have garlic powder. I was very disappointed in their lack of things that were easy to make garlic butter with.
Yeah, but that's I so I'd like to crack down on them too for not having garlic powder, but I didn't have garlic powder until last week. So
Really?
yeah, like we just used real garlic like for everything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. You know.
But yeah, but now we have it. So we've rejoined civilization.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope that they have as well.
Okay. They're like okay. So obviously, you know, Whitney's from Saskatchewan, and so my brother-in-law is from Saskatchewan as well, and his fiance is from Alberta, maybe? I don't know. Also in the West. And they are the whitest people that you know, in the sense that they're like, we don't really like to cook with spices, you know? And it's like, oh, that sounds disgusting. You know, like you don't even use like garlic powder or anything. So
That's that's funny.
I cooked a stir fry, and obviously it had tofu in it because I don't really eat meat all that much. And they were like, "We never really tried tofu before." And Whitney was like, "Cook it so that it's basically like tough meat, you know, like so just like cook it for a really really long time." And then they didn't have any
Yeah,
good seasoning or anything, so I was like, it's just I was like, "This is just bland. Like it's bland and it's hard. Like I don't think this is very good." And they were like, "Oh, that's exactly what we want." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well then, perfect. You're gonna like this this stir fry a lot."
that's not. Yeah, that's just not correct.
Yeah, I know.
I guess like you're supposed to either like kind of marinate it like you would meat because it really well picks up whatever flavor you have, or you cook it so it's like crispy on the outside.
Hmm.
That should be your goal. There's a place near us that we recently found that does a really good job. It's like a vegan Asian restaurant.
Yeah.
Does a really good job of cooking their tofu.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm really good at cooking tofu when I'm at home. You know, like I am very good at
That's
cooking
when you're
tofu.
in your environment.
Yeah, when I have all my stuff. I make a mean tofu stir fry, and it's so fast and easy. And also, I just want to point out that Roy was so prepared for this Widowmine drop. Like, Roy is such a solid defensive player.
What did we see for oh, he had the stalkers at the
Yeah, he had the
north side of
stalkers
the
in
base there.
position,
Yeah,
spread
right on.
out. Alori making definitely the right call of not jumping in, because that's, well, that's how you lose games as Terran, is just YOLOing your army.
Yeah, it would be a lost medevac for sure, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, like even like, because you probably could boost past the 4 stalkers and get at least 1 widow mine out, but it likely wouldn't be worth it. I mean, maybe it would. But yeah, so that was my cooking adventures for the last little bit, because I was gonna do more cooking, but then we decided to just send me home instead, because I could go through Washington.
Right. So was there a period of time where you were hanging out with? Hold on, what are we missing? Ooh.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Roy just did such a.
Ouch.
Roy did the blink micro to save the stalker and have the widow mine shoot. Let's see if he does it again. No, this time he just eats the widow mine shot, and then killed. I don't know. Now that the widow mine drop is no longer a threat, Roy moves his army across the map because he's not scared of it anymore. You know?
Well, Roy is not as scared of anything.
Yeah.
So was there a period of time when you were stuck in Vancouver that you were with Whitney's family and Whitney was not there?
Yes.
How was that?
Oh, it's fine. I mean, they're my family too, you know? It's
That's
actually
fair.
it was pretty funny because Whitney's brother and his fiance just bought a house in Saskatchewan. So Whitney's brother was actually gone because he had to go look at the house. So it was actually just me and his fiance, who I've probably never really spoken to, hanging out at their place alone, you know, like, so
You guys find common ground? Is
yeah,
she a
actually.
secret StarCraft 2 player?
No, she's not, but she at least feigned interest in it enough and asked me to show her some of our VODs, and I was like, I don't think you want to see this, but
You don't have to do
yeah.
that.
So I quickly showed it to her about what it was, you know, and I was like, you don't we
Yeah.
don't have to watch this. This is just what this is, you know, like uh but no, we watched Baby Driver, and it was very nice actually hanging out with her and everything.
Was that the first time you seen that film?
No, I watched it at Savs' place,
Yeah.
but I was jet lagged and fell asleep. It was when I
Oh,
was
that's
coming back
fair.
from China.
It's an awesome movie.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think Edgar Wright is really good.
Great.
Oh, so auto turret harass, pretty much perfectly done, so that at least five probes. That's good. Good for Alori. And yeah, Crackpot, I would happily do a cooking show. If you ever want recipes, just hit me up. I cook a lot. I don't know, because Crackpot is with the TGC, which is the clan that I used to be a part of before I took my really long hiatus, and
Right, yeah.
they have
Uh-oh.
unfortunately, all of these stalkers are gonna get bruised
Well, you spoke
or
too
dead.
soon.
Yeah, I thought they were
Too
gonna
soon.
die. They might still die. Does he have Marauder Slow? No, he doesn't. Never mind. They're not gonna die. But they have a food channel, you know. So I always like to post pictures of the food that I make in that Discord.
The lone tank.
Yeah, that tank was looking for better ground, I'd say, and I think Roy.
The other tank gone as well. I think Roy's taking a good fight here.
Yeah. So like now that basically the supply that was in Phoenix's is in in Immortal and maybe more charge lots. I'm not sure exactly, but this is still really good like micro from Alori because he was really doing a good pullback there. Roy's trying to do it now, but like there's a chance that these stalkers. No, not with the Archon coming up. Actually, I don't think so. But like, this turn, it went from a terrible fight to Alori to actually not that bad with the trade at least.
Definitely.
Because Alori is no slump, you know. Like he's been macroing behind this. He's got a relatively big bio army, and he kept it at home, which I like. He's not parade pushing or F2ing, and he's been Raven harassing this whole time.
Yeah, you know.
9 kills
Another
on the
3
Raven.
probes for the auto turret. Like, yeah, that's wild.
And that's just energy, right? Like until he loses that Raven, it doesn't cost him anything except like the cost of the Raven, I suppose. But with the Raven still alive, you could argue that it doesn't cost him anything at all. With these new maps, though, like Alori's gotta be careful because like his medevacs are way too far ahead and could be being picked off right now. Luckily, Roy didn't really have anything in position for that, but it's just it's the problem with having the rocks in the middle is that the medevacs are just going to fly right over them, and the bio won't. So let's see.
Classic. Exactly what we were talking about with Vipers earlier, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if Valori really wants to fight into this. If you see really, if you see any army prepared to concave you, you probably it doesn't really matter what race it is, but Protoss armies are so scary that I don't think that you want, basically. So this is kind of like he wasn't even concave. He caught a Lori in a ball, and he's still gonna be able, Roy's still gonna be able to clean this up.
You know, it's a bit like what the fight looked like last time, and then Alori turned around on him. I don't know. Are we gonna? Like,
I think maybe
you're right,
the
though.
reason,
No, it's more overwhelming with the 2 Archons and Immortals
well,
and the shields. It's just not fair.
I think that the reason why that fight looked a little bit more like last fight was because Roy was focusing down the medevacs at first. So
Right.
the bio was getting a lot of free shots off, but then that causes so basically it's good for Lori, but then it's not good for Lori because he needs those medevacs. Losing all those
Yeah.
medevacs really sucks. When I'm in a situation like that, I normally try to send the medevacs home and lose the bio. I'd rather lose the bio than the medevacs personally. If you're gonna, I guess if you think you're gonna lose both, sort of thing, just sack the bio and let the medevacs
Right.
try and get out.
And myself and other unsavvy viewers last week learned that medevacs can only medevacs expend energy to heal units.
Yeah, but okay, look at the Raven. Look how many kills the Raven has now.
Where
It's in
is
the
he?
bottom
Oh,
left
he's in the
corner.
bottom. Yeah, 17. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's been an absolute hero Raven. I hate Raven harass in TVT, obviously because that's the only time that I would ever actually play against it, being a Terran player. But I can only imagine how much harder it would be against Protoss, where you don't necessarily build that Stargate. Because in TVT, I'm always going to build a starport eventually. I'm never playing Viking-less play or, medevac-less play. So eventually I'm
Right.
going to get that Viking, and I'm going to get that stupid Raven, and it's not going to get 17 kills. But with Roy, you can have these stalkers waiting in the mineral line, but there's none in the natural waiting, so an auto turret could still go down. If he gets
Yep.
around, he could get to the third base. This would be such a frustrating position to be in for Roy. And Alori just scanned looking for the observer, and unfortunately he had just passed the observer, so that always feels bad. Now let's see how these EMPs go. Okay, that was a pretty juicy EMP. Almost every single stalker is hurt. Another one, pretty good. It didn't actually hit any of the Archons, but I think this was a really good fight for Lori.
It's looking that way.
Scanning,
God.
presumably because he is concerned about DTs. Press the wrong button. Yeah, okay. Good call by Alori not moving in there. I think that was absolutely the right call. It was a big fight to win, but if he stims and runs into a super battery with a Colossus and charge lots, that's a pretty good way to throw the winning fight away,
Absolutely, it is.
So I really like this from Alori. I think I would like it better if he was... Okay, so he is going to try to get the Raven around to do a little bit of harassment. Basically, I just want him to hit multiple places at once. So he's got the army at home. If he would send that to the fourth base instead, or fifth base instead,
That's what I was hoping to see too, but instead it looks like they're going to push up on the back of his own army.
Yeah,
But yeah, really picking off that 5th base would have been awesome.
Yeah, with the libs, he's going to kind of siege the army, but it's a little unfortunate because he just doesn't have enough medevacs now, going back to losing the medevacs, and he's not building any. He's not supply block, so I'm not sure exactly why there's no medevacs being built. But I think Roy's playing this really smart. I think Roy's such a strong player. Okay, so Interference Matrix goes down on the Colossus. Roy focus down the Disruptor. Yes, so no Disruptor shot gets pulled out. The Super Battery is actually just being, killed through, I guess. I don't even know how to describe it, but the DPS of the Terran
overwhelmed.
Yeah, overwhelmed, yeah. And there's 4 Ghosts now in this fight. And Ghosts are pretty good against Gateway Man, which Roy is exclusively. That was some sick blink micro, though. Holy crap.
Ooh.
Pretty big Widowmine shots, really bruising
Yeah.
those.
And really saving the hide of those ghosts. I thought the charge lots were going to rush them down.
Yeah. But this is kind of the nice thing about the Blink Stalkers is that now they're going to pick off the retreating units, and if they, like, if the bio units turn... Oh, that was a pretty big EMP. I think Roy maybe could fight this now. He has to be careful of the Colossus. The Colossus is the big thing that he's worried about because he doesn't have any medevacs to heal his army, so just swipe, and the bio units will die. This has been a pretty crazy game, actually.
It is, yeah. But pretty even. Like the trades have been super square almost. Even on upgrades, really. Like both units, or rather both armies, pretty teched up. We're seeing some sneaky Dark Templars.
Yeah.
Looking at Elori's third, I guess.
Yeah, I wanted to watch them and see what they're doing, but they're just kind of sitting in the middle, not really doing anything. Does Roy have DT Blink? He doesn't. So if these get caught, then they're going to die.
Uh-oh.
And just like that.
Yep.
Elori did do a huge stim, unfortunately, though, and he doesn't...
Maybe not worth for just a couple DTs.
Well, I don't think so, because he just doesn't have the medevacs to back it up. Like, these medevacs are now energyless. Then he just boosted, too, like, presumably taking out all their energy. Yeah, they have 6 energy now. He is building 6 medevacs at a time, but that's cutting into his his ability to produce Vikings, because you need about 4 Vikings per Colossus, so he's going to need, like, 16 Vikings right now.
Wow. So when the medevac is carrying units, do they heal while in the medevac, or is it strictly when they're underneath it healing? That's it, eh? Okay.
Yeah, but you can actually put an SC. So if you put like a tank in the medevac, and then you put an SCV in the medevac, the SCV can repair the tank. It'll cost you minerals, of course, but you can do that.
That's cool.
But it doesn't heal bio units. So that's a lot of SCVs going down for Elori. There's the Manor Muling. And GG gets called.
Good game, both sides.
I mean, Elori's micro was pretty good. I think that's Matrix, maybe. I don't remember, but that was some pretty good blink micro from Roy at one point. I wasn't checking to see like if Roy was like floating a ton of minerals or anything, but that was some pretty good blink micro to say the very least. So that's 2-1, right?
2-1, yep.
Okay, so spawning in the bottom right, the purple Terran player. He needs to win this, and then the next one to keep my hopes alive. It is Elori.
And spawning in the top left, hoping to end it right here. The blue Protoss Roy.
Yeah, if Roy wins this,